Hi everyone, Erin here from Grounded Warrior. Thanks so much for joining me for our strength workout for November week 2. This week, you're doing 8 exercises, but they're set up into 2 exercises for each set. So there's 4 sets of exercises. You're going to go through each set for 4 minutes. So make sure you have a timer to keep you on track. So set a timer, 4 minutes. You'll go through 2 exercises back to back, 10 repetitions each. Okay. Then after the 4 minutes is over, rest as long as you need to, and then go on to the 3rd, 4th, and then all the way down to the very last set, feeling your strongest the whole time. This week, all you're going to need are some medium and or heavy weights for this. And the 8 exercises for this week are going to include a curtsy lunge, overhead press, that's set 1. Set 2, a deadlift with a wall sit. Your legs are really gonna feel that one. Set 3, 10 and 2 o'clock push-ups. Don't worry, I'll explain. And leg lifts on your back. And then for the 4th and final set, 1 arm kneeling bicep curls with frog planks. So these 8 exercises are going to work your whole body and get you stronger than ever before. Let's get started. For our first exercise, I'm going to start with heavy weights, but feel free to modify and go to a lighter weight or no weights at all. We're doing a curtsy lunge, working the inner outer thighs and the legs. So let's start by stepping 1 foot back, getting nice and low. It's almost like a skater. You're feeling everything rapid. My front knee is right over my ankle, toes forward. Step out and then take it back on the other side. Try to get nice and low, pausing with time under tension. That's when you're holding it for a moment, feeling the muscles work. Keep your chest lifted the whole time. Notice I'm not rounding forward. My shoulders are over my hips, arms by your side. Those are our heavy curtsy lunges. You're going to do 10 reps of those and then go straight into overhead presses. Weights are gonna come up, palms facing each other, core strong. You can start just one arm and then the other, or both at the same time. All right. Definitely a little harder working both arms at the same time, so do your best. You're doing 10 repetitions on each side for the legs and 10 for each side of the arms if you're alternating. And then you'll go through these 2 exercises for 4 minutes. At the end of the 4 minutes, you're probably gonna be pretty done with them, and that's a good news, you get to move on. So I'm actually going to keep the weights though for the 2nd set of exercises. And our 3rd, we're doing a dead lift. Our toes are staying pointed forward. Palms are facing in. Roll the shoulders back. Keep everything strong. And I'm gonna hinge forward. Spine is long, not rounded. I'm going to about shins, and then slowly come back up, press your hips forward. Hinge over. Slight bend to the knees. Keep your glutes up in the air. Come up and press the hips forward. You can always lessen the weights here if you need to. One more time, deadlift. You're coming down. And strong core, glutes, and legs lifting you back up. So that's round 2, first exercise. From there, you don't need anything. We're actually going to go into a wall sit. So rather than timing yourself for this, you're just gonna count to 10 really slowly. Mississippis or alligators, whichever you wanna use. So come on over to a wall. For these wall sits, and we've never done these before in Grounded Warrior, you're going to come down. My back is literally up against the wall. It looks like I'm sitting here with an invisible chair underneath me. My hips and knees are in line. My knees and my ankles are in line. My toes are pointed forward. And I would count 10. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, all the way up to 10. And then come on up. So you would do your dead lift, 10 repetitions, And then you would lose the weights, unless you want to make it really hard, go to the wall and count to 10 for your wall sit, getting nice and low. If a wall sit is too much for you, you can do a basic squat with your toes and knees pointed forward, squatting nice and low and lifting up. You could also, as an option, hold your low squat. So that is our second set of exercises. You would do those 2 for 4 minutes. And then we'll move on to our third set of exercises. These push-ups, 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock, are one of my favorites. I'm gonna show you how to do them, but first I'm gonna show you how to just do a basic push-up. Let's come on down. For your basic push-up, your hands are wider than your shoulders, middle finger forward. You'll shift forward. Option 1, knees down, just bend and press. Maybe lift your knees. Maybe just take basic push-ups with the knees lifted. For our 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock push-ups, I'm actually going to face the other way so you can see my range of motion. It's a cool move. So, I'll start in a plank pose right in the middle. You're doing 5 of these on each side. I walk my hands over, middle finger forward, hands wide, and I do a push-up, bend, press. Then I walk my hands over to the other side, and I bend and press. And I keep going, walking the hands in between, bending and pressing up. That's why they're called 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, because you're literally going like the hands of a clock from one to the other. They're hard. So if you need to, go to one of the simpler push-ups and do your best. But if you'd like, give these a try and notice how they feel. I bet you're gonna feel it the next day. From here, we're going to lay down on our backs for our leg lifts. Start with your feet flat on the mat here. Tucking your tailbone, engage your core. Arms by your sides. You're going to lift your legs up to the sky, flex your toes, and try to straighten your legs. This should be hard enough, just maintaining these legs up. I want to keep my feet right above my hips. If you'd like, you can take hands behind the head. Your back is still flat though. And then you're going to literally lower one leg, maybe 45 degrees or lower, and lift it back up. Option 1 is to keep your head down the whole time. Option 2 is to lift your head, neck, and shoulders, keep your elbows wide. You're going to lower one leg and then the other. You'll do 10 reps on each, so 1 and 1. Keep the legs nice and long. Remember, you can only lower to 45 degrees if that's what's right for your body. Just try your best and release. So that is our set number 3. You would do those 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock push-ups 10 times, so 5 of each, and then you'd lay on your back and do 10 leg lifts. 10 of each though, not 5, 10 of each. And you would do that for 4 minutes. So have a timer going so that you know when it's time to stop and move on to our 4th and final set of exercises. For our final set, you're just going to need one heavy or medium-sized weight, and you're gonna stay kneeling. So if you need to, you can always bring a blanket or pad under your knees. Our next exercise is a one-armed kneeling bicep curl. So to make it a little easier, you can have one foot forward. You would want to make sure it's the opposite foot from the arm that you're working. So I have my right hand with the weight, left foot forward. If you want to make it harder though, you'll bring the knee back underneath with the other. Either way, you're doing a bicep curl. So I'm tucking the tailbone, lifting the chest, my palm faces my hip, and then the shoulder. Down and up. I'm maintaining control the entire time. I'm not swinging the weight. I'm doing 10 of these strong and steady, keeping the elbow tucked in. And then I switch to the other side. The reason we're kneeling for these is it makes it harder. You have to engage your core a lot more. Your lower body is working as well as your upper body. Remember, you could always have the opposite foot forward. That's going to make it a little bit easier because you'll be more steady and stable. So that is the first exercise for the 4th set. After that, we're going to come into a plank and do frog. Starting with hands under the shoulders, option 1, hold your high plank, nice and strong. Option 2, you're going to add a frog to this. So that's almost like a mountain climber, but a little different. You're bringing your knee to the same elbow on the outside. So it almost looks like a frog leg. That's why I call them that. I'm trying not to move my shoulders. They're staying over my wrists. My body is nice and long. My core is strong. And don't let your head drop. Try not to just sink the head towards the ground. Instead, keep your neck nice and long. So you would go through those 2 exercises. The one-armed kneeling bicep curl, 10 on each side, and then 10 on each side of the frog planks. So 1 knee and then the other knee equals 1. And you would do that for 4 minutes. And that wraps up our week number 2 strength workout. So we went through those 8 different exercises for 10 repetitions each in 4 different sets. You'll be going through those 4 sets for 4 minutes. So if you go through the entire thing, it should take you 16 minutes. And that's not including necessarily rest time. If you need to, you can always go through this again to make the workout longer. Remember, these workouts are here for you, so modify, change them up as you need to. And if you have any questions, let us know. That's why we're here. Also, use the hashtag #GroundedWarrior to check in with us and let us know how you're doing and how the workouts are helping you be healthy and strong. Thanks so much once again. I hope you have a great day.